Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Creative Coach YouTube/podcast. I am your host, Sarah Mickens, and today I'm talking about how to properly back up your storage for photographers and videographers specifically. So let's talk really quick about memory card safety. So there's lots of different camps of how you should be storing stuff on memory cards. There are some people who will write to a memory card and then they will not erase it or format it until that session is delivered. So to do this, you definitely need a surplus of memory cards, and this is by no means something you have to do, although it is a very good and safe way to do it. The way memory cards work is you put them in your camera, obviously, and you're gonna write to this memory card. And when you write to a memory card, it's basically storing that data. You're gonna plug it into your computer, you're gonna offload it onto some kind of hard drive, and when you format the card, that's when you erase all the data on it. And once you've erased all the data, you should consider it gone. However, you can recover formatted memory card data to an extent. It is possible, but once you have formatted the card and then you've written over it, so you format the card, you put it back in your camera and you shoot on that card again, that data is gone. It's not recoverable at that point. So just a quick tip about memory cards. Something else about memory cards that some people do or don't know is you can lock them. So they have a little tiny tab on the side, and when you click it, on this memory card in particular, when you click it down, it locks. It's going to have a little picture on the top telling you which way is locked. It might be up or down depending on your card. And when you lock it, you cannot write on the card anymore. So this is also a safe way when you're done with the shoot and you know you haven't gotten the data off the card yet. When you take it out of your camera, lock it and then put it where it needs to go before you offload it onto your hard drives. Another quick tip about memory cards and data storage is if you're shooting on a camera that has dual recording or it's writing to two cards at once, I really like this memory card case. I'm going to link it in my Kitco, which is in the comments. And what you can do is when you're done with both cards, I like to stack them per camera. So if I had written on these two cards on my one camera, I just stack them one on top of another. And then let's say I have another camera that doesn't dual record or I only recorded to one of the cards, I'm going to stack that here. So each of these rows is its own individual camera. And that kind of helps me keep everything straight. So when I go to offload it onto my computer, I know this was all one camera, this row was all one camera, this row was all one camera, and then I can easily put it into the proper folders on my computer. And this case also does hold CF cards, although my cameras, I don't shoot on that. On my cameras. Moving on to how to store all this data on your computer. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that the hard drive you want to back everything up onto is plugged in. And I back up on what I call like a 3-point system. So I'm going to back things up to what I call an editing drive, which is one of these. It's just like a little solid state drive, and I actually have this cool little pocket I can slip it in on my computer so I can easily like tote it around with me while I'm editing. I love these things. It's also linked in my Kitco. So if you want one, it just sticks onto your computer and you just put your drive in there, and it's super nice and easy, and it's really great when you're working at a coffee shop. You can just zoop and then carry it around wherever you want to go. I also have 10 terabyte towers that I leave plugged in. I have another computer that I kind of use as my like storage and data EA computer. It's an older iMac, and it's hardwired into our internet with an Ethernet cable. So this is really what I'm using to like load lots of data up into the cloud for my editors and all that kind of stuff. So I'm putting things on the solid state drive, and then I'm also backing them up to these storage towers. And everything, both my computers, so my towers, my solid state drives, my laptop, and my desktop computer are all getting backed up to Backblaze. And Backblaze is a cloud storage solution that just consistently is backing up your computer and all your hard drives, an unlimited amount of data, and it's very affordable. I think it's only $50 a year. And I do have an affiliate link, so you will get a discount. So these little solid state drives, I call them my editing drives because this is where I keep all of my footage, or a copy of all of the footage, raw photos, anything that hasn't been touched. And I'm going to be editing on this drive because It's definitely faster than editing off of a tower. And this is not the fastest drive on the market. There are definitely better, faster drives than this, but this is just what I have. But I do have better drives linked in my Kitco. So I have a copy of all the raw footage on my drive, and then I also have a copy of all my raw footage and raw pictures on the tower. So I'm basically duplicating whatever I'm saving. So it goes to my hard drive, it goes to the tower. I edit on the hard drive, and as I'm editing on the hard drive, the project files are getting backed up to Backblaze through this computer. So it's always being saved. So if for some reason this hard drive goes down, I'm gonna have the project file and all the footage backed up to Backblaze, but I also have a physical copy of all of the footage on my tower. And so that means I can really quickly pull stuff off of my tower and put it on a new hard drive, and then pull the smaller project file out of the cloud. And that's probably going to be the fastest way to recover data if something like that were to happen. So once I'm completely done with a project, it's all going to be on my solid state hard drive, my little portable editing drive. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver it to the client, upload it to Vimeo, YouTube, whatever. And then I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to drag and drop the project file onto my 10 terabyte storage drive for storage forever. It's also all going to be backed up to the cloud. And then I do clear it off of this hard drive once I know it's backed up to my storage drive and the cloud. So everything from every single client I've ever had is living on this 10 terabyte storage drive. And I have 3 10 terabyte storage drives at this point. And all of those drives are backed up to the cloud via Backblaze. And this way, I've always got all of the data in case I ever need it and I ever have to pull it down, which I have had to do on occasion. I've had a couple weddings and events where a grandparent passes or a parent passes away and they're like, hey, can I get the raw footage? I want to look at some stuff of this relative. And if it was 6-7 years ago, I'm like, yeah, I have it. I have it on this drive and it's backed up to the cloud. Here you go. I can put it on a hard drive for them and send it out. So that's why I back up everything forever. And it's also just a security for my couples that their stuff is backed up into 3 places until it's delivered. And then it's backed up in 2 places locally and on the cloud forever, indefinitely.